Someone asked in the comments, why does God talk to you? I am an avatar of God, the Arcturians, Muhammad and Aisha, Krishna and Radha, and Matthew and Joan of Arc.
Aliens try communicating. Humans are too dumb to notice.
Was Prophet Muhammad a pedophile? If you want to know the truth,
support the making of a movie about Prophet Muhammad and Aisha.
So sweet, so beautiful. Every day like a queen on her throne. And nobody knows how she feels. Aisha, lady, one day you'll be real. She moves like a breeze. I swear I can get her right on my brain. To have her shining right here by my side. I'll sacrifice all the tears in my eyes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Aisha, smile for me now. Aisha, my. Well, I don't know. Aisha, smile for me now. Aisha, in my life.
So sweet, so beautiful. Every day like a queen on a throne. No, nobody knows how she feels. Aisha, lady, one day it'll be real. She moves like a breeze. I swear I can get her out of my dreams. To have her shining right here by my side. I'd sacrifice all the tears in my eyes. Aisha, passing me by. Aisha, my. Aisha, talk for me now. Aisha, in my life.
وحشنا يا رسول الله يا سيدنا شوقنا زاد والله مهما طول الغياب محمد مشتاق إليك والله محمد قلبي عليك صلى طال سؤالي قولي
ربنا أعلاك قدرا يا إمام الأنبياء أنت في الوجدان حي أنت للعينين ضي أنت عند الحوض ري أنت هاد وصفي يا حبيبي يا محمد يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول سلام عليك يا حبيب سلام عليك صلوات الله عليك.
God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. Whether it's the creator, the universe, or life, he'll put hardships and obstacles in your path. You'll need to become who you're meant to be. If you're watching this video, it's not a coincidence. God has an important message for you. There will be times when you wonder what you've done to deserve this, when you'll be overwhelmed by the suffering that comes into your life and makes you want to quit. But always remember that the hardest moments are actually the ones that you will learn from the most. Embrace these moments because God is teaching you how to stay resilient and persevere in life. You never realize how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. Soon you will realize that some of your greatest pains will become your greatest strengths. So remember,
To show your support for a movie about the story of Prophet Muhammad and Aisha, please like this video.
Hiya, time to do the next Quran verse, which is Quran chapter 2, verse 62. It says, surely those who believe, those who are Jewish, the Christians, and the converts, anyone who, number one, believes in God, and number two, believes in the last day, and number three, leads a righteous life, will receive their recompense from their Lord. They have nothing to fear, nor will they grieve. That's Quran 2:62. The Jewish, the Christians, where did the Muslims go? And the converts. Well, I guess the Jewish, the Christians, and the Muslims, that would be the followers of the three mainstream religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And those who think that they are the believers and everyone else is so what do? They want to convert others who they may consider to be non-believers, or at least not believing in the same exact way that they believe. And also, I guess, atheists who are actually strictly would fall under the category of non-believers, because the Jewish, the Christians and the Muslims fall under the category of believers because they do believe in God. But people have got it all twisted. Most believers have got it all twisted, even. So I guess it would be the atheists who would actually technically fall under the category of non-believers. But does that even matter in the end when it comes to God? Anyway, I was kind of reflecting on this verse, and this part of the verse where it mentions the converts, it really got to me, and I was like I suppose I want to say something about that. And I was like, what am I even supposed to say about this? And then I kind of started typing, and it kind of started coming through and flowing. And so I'm gonna be doing a little bit of a reading from here, from what I've typed here. So the believers, right, from the three mainstream religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, believe that there is only one God, right? Then where did this converting people to your religion thing came from? Because if there is only one God, then how does it make sense to convert people to this or that religion? Because if there is only one God, then wouldn't it make sense that it is the same one God that is coming through all of the different religions? So why should anyone have to convert when it's the same God coming through all of the religions? Did that thought ever cross your mind? Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever reflected on that by yourself, for yourself? Never mind your religious conditioning and programming. Like, can you put that on the side and just reflect on this one thing by yourself, for yourself? People need to reflect on that. Please reflect on that. And now I'm gonna say something about Hinduism. See, even with Hinduism, it is the same one God or source energy. It is the same one source underneath it all or behind it all that is branching out. I keep thinking of this is the psychic or intuitive impression that keeps coming to me, is of a tree. Like, you know, there's a tree trunk and then there's all these different branches branching out of it, branching out of the same tree or the same tree trunk. Like it is, all of it is one tree. So even with Hinduism, it is the same one God or source energy that is branching out to all the different Hindu gods, including the animal gods, both human and animal Hindu gods. Because humans and animals both, and for that matter, everything else in the universe and multiverse, but to keep it simple, let's stick to humans and animals here. So humans and animals have the same God energy, that one God. So humans and animals have the same God energy within them, which we know as a soul or spirit. For Jews and Christians, and for the English-speaking world, and for Muslims it's Ruh, and for Hindus and I would also say Buddhists, like for that part of the world, it's Atma. And again, I have mentioned this before in my previous videos, that it is the same energy, the same consciousness, the same presence. That we know as God, or the one God, manifest and experiencing itself in different physical forms, in different physical forms of the physical form of a human being, or the body of a human being, or the different bodies of different human beings. And the same goes for the animals and the animal kingdom and the different physical forms found in the animal kingdom and the different bodies of the different animals. As I said, manifest and experiencing itself in different physical forms. And have you ever thought and reflected about who or what your soul or spirit or Ruh or Atma is? And where did it come from? And do we ever bother to pause and reflect on or reflect about who or what the soul or spirit or Ruh or Atma of the animals is? And where did that come from? Or where did it come from as well? Because animals have a soul, a spirit, a ruh, or an atma too, right? Are you aware of that? Do you have any awareness of that? Even. Or do you not know that? Like, do you have any awareness of that when it comes to the animal kingdom and when it comes to the animals? And I have mentioned that before in one of my videos. I think it was titled Black Magic Protection, Hanuman, Ganesha, Blu-ray Animal Souls. But coming back to the idea and concept of God, or it would be Allah for Muslims, Bhagawan for Hindus, in Hinduism, is like the one and the many simultaneously philosophy. So the philosophy of the one and the many simultaneously fits the idea and concept of God in Hinduism, except it's not just a philosophy. It is the truth of God. Because the one God is the one thing that lies behind all things in the universe and multiverse, and permeates and emanates and branches out as the many, and is manifest in all different physical forms, i.e., human beings, the animals or the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and whatever else is there in the universe and multiverse. The one and the many, the one and the all. So once again, why do we force people to convert to this or that religion when it is the same one God behind all religions? Behind all the different religions, it is the same one God. Please reflect on that too. Because when we are asleep, we can only reflect. But when we are awake and connected to our soul, or spirit, or ruh, or atma within, meaning the God within, because our soul, or spirit, or ruh, or atma is a piece of God and a spark of that one God energy and consciousness that lives within our physical form, meaning our bodies, That is the God within. The God within is our soul, our spirit, our ruh, our atma. So when we are awake, we are connected to that God within, and from within we can connect to the God without as well. As they say, as within, so without, as above, so below. So when we are awake, meaning we have experienced a Kundalini awakening. Have you heard of that? Are you aware of that? Do you know about that even? A Kundalini awakening? Have you looked it up? What is that? And what is Kundalini energy? Isn't it what we know as soul or spirit or ruh or atma? I feel it is our soul, spirit, ruh, our ruh or our atma. That soul fractal, that piece of God, that spark of that one God that comes into and lives in our bodies. In the bodies of the many human beings and animals, etc. Making that one God into what? Making that one God into the many simultaneously. Are you getting that now? Even a little bit? Are you understanding that? Is that sinking in a little bit? If not, that's okay. Just keep reflecting on it. And hopefully at some point you'll get it, or at some point it'll start sinking in. But anyway, so that's what makes that one God into the many simultaneously, and the one and the many philosophy, which is not just a philosophy. So that's what makes that one God into the many simultaneously, and the one and the many philosophy into the truth of God. The ones who believe in the existence of soul or spirit or ruh or atma will not be able to dismiss and deny this truth of God. We have just forgotten, because we have been what I affectionately call to be sleeping beauties. And many of us still are on this planet. So the reminder and the remembrance of the truth of God is here again. At least for the ones who are willing to listen and reflect on this truth of God. And they can reflect quietly within themselves. But the ones who are awake and connected within already know this truth, because we have experienced it from within. And we have a direct connection, like a direct connect with God, with Holy Spirit, the higher powers, the universe. We have direct experience because we have inner experience and inner knowing that comes from our soul, our spirit, our ruh, our atma. Within us. Have you experienced your soul or spirit or ruh or atma within you, within your body? Moving within your body? Have you? Have you experienced your Kundalini energy moving and spinning inside of you, inside your body, rocking your body back and forth and or side to side? Have you experienced the spinning, or I'm also thinking the word spiraling, but I guess that's also a word, but it's like a spinning and pulsating movement. So have you experienced the spinning or pulsating movement of your chakras or energy centers within your body? Have you experienced energy moving in your third eye chakra? Have you experienced the spinning movement of your crown chakra above your head? And there are other chakras above the crown chakra as well. And all of that is what? I mean, have you experienced your energy body? What they call the human energy body, or the human electromagnetic field. And all of that is what? What is called a light body? Have you experienced any of your light body? And what is all these things? Do you know anything about these things? Are you even aware of any of this? Do you know about Kundalini energy? Do you know what chakras are? Do you know what a light body is? Do you know about any of this? And what do you think all that is in the end? What do you think all that is? Is that not what we know as soul or spirit or ruh or atma? Have you experienced astral travel, which is out-of-body experience, which is your soul or spirit or ruh or atma traveling out of your body at night while your body sleeps? Have you experienced any of this? Have you experienced your own soul or spirit or ruh or atma? Are you even aware of any of this? Do you have any awareness of your own soul, spirit, ruh, or atma? That lives within your body? And you call yourselves believers? What are you believing in when you are not even aware of your own soul or spirit or ruh or atma inside your own body? And if you're not even aware of your own soul or spirit or ruh or atma, then how can you be aware of and conscious of the Most High God? When you're not even aware and conscious of the peace of God and the spark of God that is living right inside your own body. Do you just want to believe in God, or do you actually want to know and experience God from within? And get to know God directly, not through any middlemen, but through you directly, yourself. Because that is the way. That Yeshua for Jews, Jesus for Christians, who is Isa for Muslims, taught. And that is the only way to God. The only stairway to heaven, which would be Jannah or Jannat for Muslims. And the only stairway to heaven is from within. Not because we have divided God into different religions. And not because we are Hindus or Muslims or Jews or Christians or whatever. And not because we have converted into one religion or the other. The only way out is from within. The only way through is from within. The only way is from within. And once you will find God within you, all these other things that are external to you, or that are just external, will lose its meaning for you. You will have no need of it, or you will have no need for it. You will feel no need for it. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from my own personal experience, because that's how I feel now. That's how I've been feeling ever since I've had my spiritual awakening and Kundalini awakening. And, I've been in my spiritual awakening process since. And so these external things are good for guidance. They're good for guiding and showing us the way. That is, as long as they are not corrupted and twisted out of their meaning and out of context. So as long as they are not corrupted and twisted out of context and out of their meaning. But that's the limit of it. After that, God is only found from within. By doing the inner work, and no one else can do the inner work for you but you. I mean, we can keep going outside of ourselves to all the places of worship that we have created, that human beings have created. We can, keep going. We can continue to go outside of ourselves to all the places of worship and pilgrimage and Hajj, to synagogues, to churches, to temples, to mosques, to the Kaaba. for the Muslims. People can keep doing that if they want, but have they found God? Have you found God yet? By doing all that, have you? So, what's missing? Something must be missing, right? If people are unable to find God, even though they continue to do all these things and continue to go to all the places of worship and pilgrimage and do what they do. And I mean, those places can have a place in a way or in its own way, but it's like, unless we go into such places to meditate or sit with ourselves, to connect within, in order to connect to God from within, through our own soul or spirit or ruh or atma, and maybe with some of these original places of worship, perhaps that was the original intention, but then over time somehow it all just got all corrupted and twisted and got turned into something that it was never meant to be, perhaps. Well, so, unless we go into such places to meditate, to sit with ourselves, to connect within and to connect to God from within through our own soul, spirit, ruh or atma, otherwise it's just another trip to a place. And when it comes to connecting from within and or meditation, you are just as good meditating at home in your bedroom too. Because God is everywhere, right? We've been told God is everywhere. God can come connect with us anywhere, even in our bedrooms. We don't have to go anywhere outside of our home or outside of our own bedroom. We don't even have to go outside of ourselves, even. Because remember, God is within. It is your own soul or spirit or ruh or atma. That is who or what God is. But if not, then, as I said, how many people have found God by doing all these things and going to all these places of worship? Have they found God yet? Have you found God yet? And have you even bothered to ask God if He even wants or wishes to be worshipped? And if our soul or spirit or ruh or atma is a piece of God and is a fractal of God, then it's the same energy. Then we are the same energy. Then it's the same energy, the same consciousness, the same essence, the same presence that is within you and within all of us. So then, how does worshipping it make sense? So perhaps the time has come where we need to rethink this idea of worship or worshipping God, as we are the same energy, as our soul, spirit, ruh, or atma is the same energy as God, is God. So then how does worshipping God, when we are the same energy, makes sense? How does worshipping God make sense when we are the same energy as God? And here I want to share a quote from Ramakrishna. Let me where is that? Let me find that. Yeah, he said, God is everywhere. Let me quote Ramakrishna here. God is everywhere, but He is most manifest in man. So serve man as God. That is as good as worshipping God. If you have to worship someone or something. So I'll repeat the quote again. Ramakrishna said, God is everywhere, but He is most manifest in man. So serve man as God. That is as good as worshipping God. Unquote. And here's another one from him. He said, God is in all men, but all men are not in God. That is why we suffer. Unquote. And what does that tell you? I guess that matches everything that I've been saying. Ramakrishna also said, all religions are true. God can be reached by different religions. Many rivers flow by many ways, but they all fall into the sea. They all are one. Unquote. And though that is true, what I need to add to this is that we have a serious problem at our hands when religions and religious teachings and guidance has been corrupted and twisted around. And the time has come for the correction and reformation of what has been corrupted. I think I've shared this before in one of my old videos that I received a direct personal telepathic message from Muhammad, the Islamic prophet Muhammad, and he told me he said that his teachings have been corrupted. What does that tell you? So, if we are mistreating or ill-treating other human beings in any way, and I would include the animals and the animal kingdom in there, but if we are mistreating or ill-treating other human beings in any way, then we are mistreating and ill-treating God. And as I said, I would include the animals and the animal kingdom in here too, because animals are also God manifest in different animal forms, because their soul or spirit or ruh or atma is also a piece and a spark of the same energy we know as God. And coming back to human beings and human beings mistreating each other and forcing each other to convert to this or that religion, or to someone's specific brand of religion, thinking and believing that their God is different than the other person's God, etc. Hating, dividing, creating divisiveness, and hating and even killing other human beings over religion, especially in the name of God? Like, what kind of madness is that? And why has all this been happening and still happening even in this day and age? Because we just continue to do what we have been religiously conditioned and programmed to do from childhood by others. Whether that's our own parents and families, and by our own societies, by our cultures, etc. And we're just following instructions blindly, or just following that conditioning and programming blindly, that religious conditioning and programming. Blindly, like a programmed robot. I'm sorry to say this, but isn't this the truth? Are you capable of hearing the truth without being offended by it, or without getting too uncomfortable? Well, this is why I'm back here on planet Earth. So you can unlearn your old religious conditioning and programming and learn different and relearn the truth of God. You see, believers have been misguided. Now the real guidance is here and is back. But who's interested in even listening? And also, like, do we ever ask God what He wants? Do we? And what He would prefer? No? You've never done that? Oh well. Would you like to ask God? Would you like to start now? Would you like to start there? Because if each and every one of us started there, just with that, we wouldn't have all this mess that we have on our hands now, with all this different religions and the divisiveness of my God and your God, and forcing people to convert to this or that religion. Or, oh, because you're not from my religion, so I'm not even going to treat you like a decent human being. Like, really? Is that what your religion has taught you? Is that what your prophet taught you? I don't think so. As I said, you've been misguided. And the time has come now that we correct that misguidance. And the time has come now to just correct that. And not just religion, because this then spills into race, skin color, politics, caste system, status in society, and all kind of other mess. Because all of these things are interconnected and entangled with each other and within each other. I mean, do we see the mess that we have created with all of this? Who's going to clean it up? It's our mess, so we have to clean it up ourselves. And so what are we going to do about it? Remember, the only way out and off the karmic wheel of everything in this lower realm, the lower third dimension, the matrix that human beings are stuck in for lifetimes, lifetime after lifetime. And the only way out, through and off the karmic wheel, is from within. and by doing the inner work and finding God from within. By first finding and or awakening the God within, meaning your own soul or spirit, or your own ruh or atma. So what did this Quran verse say again? I guess let's summarize it quickly here. Yeah. So it said what? Number 1, believe in God. Well, first, do the inner work. Do the inner work to find God by awakening the God within you, meaning your own soul or spirit, your own ruh, your own atma. I mean, believing can come from believing blindly, but believing can also come from knowing, inner knowing. The inner knowing that can come from your own soul or spirit or ruh or atma. So we don't just have to believe blindly. I mean, we can believe in God blindly through our faith, but we can also know and experience God through our own soul or spirit or ruh or atma. And the second thing was believing in the last day. Well, as I've been saying, we have been in the last day energies. We have been and are going through that time now. And again, even with that, people are going to have to re-examine their religious conditioning and programming to do with that too, because they may have their own beliefs or religious beliefs about that too, which is, again, it's religious conditioning and programming, which is what? Corrupted at the least. So it's like you'll have to, I mean, people are going to have to re-examine their religious conditioning and programming to do with that. And like, have you thought about that? Have you reflected on that? What are your beliefs to do with that? Or more accurately, what have you been conditioned and programmed to believe through your religion when it comes to that? Did you expect to be alive and going through it when millions around the world have died? We all know what's been going around the world and what's been floating around the world since 2020. We all know about the virus, right? So is this how the last, I don't know, can I say the word coronavirus? or COVID-19. Anyway, so is this how the last day or the judgment day happens? Well, now you know, because I'm telling you, because God or Holy Spirit has told me. And it happens on both sides of the whale, dead or alive. Like, did you expect to be going through the last day or the judgment day, or which would be Qiyamah or Qayamat for Muslims? So did you expect to be going through the last day or the judgment day or Qiyamah or Qayamat while still alive? Did you? And the third point here is about leading a righteous life. I mean, do I need to explain that? Like, do I really need to explain that? Do people not know how to be a decent human being to themselves and especially to others? Do people not know how to be a decent human being and soul, and how to treat other human beings and other souls, and how not to treat other human beings and souls, or to not mistreat or ill-treat others? Don't mistreat or ill-treat other human beings or souls. Especially over religion and other things like race or caste system or status in society, or just because some people may have more money than others, or like that sort of thing, you know. And don't mistreat or ill-treat, especially do not mistreat or ill-treat God's chosen people or souls, the ones who are also called the earth angels. The earth angels, angels who have been sent to planet Earth to help and assist planet Earth and humanity and human beings, and are here on God's mission and their soul's mission. And you know, how are you going to treat us earth angels? Because I'm an earth angel. How are you treating me? Or how are you going to treat me? Let's say, you know, in the future even. How are you treating me now, and how are you going to treat me in the future? And how have human beings treated or mistreated the prophets and the prophetesses? Prophet, male. prophetess, female. How have human beings treated or mistreated the prophets and the prophetesses in the past? And how are they going to treat them today, in this day and age, when our souls have reincarnated and are back here on planet Earth to teach and guide human beings again? How are you going to treat us today and in this day and age? How are you going to treat us today and in this day and age? And speaking of that, I recently did a Quran video, or was it the one before this one, which is titled Killing of Prophets, and heavenly food versus earthly food, but it has killing of prophets in the title, in the video title. And maybe I'll put the link down to that video in the description as well, or you can find it on my channel here if you were interested in checking that out as well. But that's about it. So, you know, the last part of the Quran verse, of this Quran verse that says, you know, so lead a righteous life and you will receive your recompense from God, and you will have nothing to fear, nor will you grieve. So if you're capable of being a decent human being and leading a righteous life, you will be okay with God, and God will be okay with you. It's up to you, because there is the universal law, or God's law of free will. So that's why I say it's up to you, and even God says it's up to you. This was Quran 262, and until next time, take care.
To show your support for a movie about the story of Prophet Muhammad and Aisha, please like this video.